Who are you?
Me? I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to a slightly different view of Displaying Model Behaviour. I'm playing around with my new camera and the new settings, and I thought this would actually be a good way of seeing what the picture looks like with a proper non-green screen type format. So also let me know, do you like swapping between the different styles? Are you kind of sick of the old green screen background? I'm always looking to find new ways to brighten up the channel, and brightening up your shelves. What a transition. Marvel Legends have revealed a whole bunch of new figures. First of all, we've got our Captain America Brave New World figures coming out. 3 of them, as a matter of fact. First of all, we got Sam Wilson as Captain America with his full Falcon wings and the new looking costume, which honestly, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of.
No, don't like that.
I think I actually preferred his Falcon and the Winter Soldier Disney Plus suit. I preferred having more white in there. I think it kind of distinguished him from Steve Rogers and made it look more like his own kind of role. This looks a bit like a Captain America cosplay that he's doing, but with his Falcon wings. Almost like if I stopped him at Comic-Con, I'd be like, hey, cool Captain America cosplay, but you forgot to take your wings off. I prefer the white one, but hey, that's just me. What I do like, though, is the mask. That's cool. I think if he's going to be flying at sonic speeds or whatever it is, it makes sense that he would have a mask to, give him oxygen for a start. And the typical sculpting of the Marvel Legends MCU figures, always pretty top-notch. No pins in sight, lots of details. He looks cool. And then the new Falcon. I really like this design. It looks like an alternate universe Vulture, which I'm not the first person to say that, but it is what it is. That's what it looks like, and I dig it. I like the look of that. So he looks great as well, with the wings in particular. They just look so pretty. I've got a lot of time for him. He's got Red Wing as well. I want to see what they do with him in the movie. I've got my fingers crossed that it's going to be a good movie, but time will tell when we actually get to see it. And then finally, we got Harrison Ford's Red Hulk. And it looks okay at a glance. But in the year of our Lord, 2024, we still have that ugly flat disc waist swivel. No, Hasbro, unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. Because this is a deluxe figure. They're all deluxe figures. Which makes me think, are these going to be like $35? They might be more. We don't have prices yet. We're going to find them out probably by the time this video goes live. If I get it in time, I'll put the information down below. If it's $35, oof, that's steep. If it's $50, there's going to be some harumphing from this guy over here. But yeah, I think the figure looks good, but man, that disc, you got to have an egg cup. You got to have an egg cup type swivel. Having a flat, ugly disc like that on a figure this big in 2024, dude, it looks like you're just phoning it in and you're not putting in the effort. You're just doing same old stuff. You're like a pro wrestler who's past his prime and just rattling out the hits. And it's, the crowd would be chanting a rude phrase if that was the case. And that's what I'm seeing with this Hulk. So yeah, a mixed bag for the MCU. But it wasn't all MCU. We got one big comic book reveal, and that is Dark Captain Marvel, aka Moonstone. Carla Sofen, is that her name? She was impersonating Carol Danvers in Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers, and we've been asking for this for the longest time because now we've almost got that team complete. We still need an up-to-date Daken. There's an old one, but I'd say that he shows his age, but he didn't look good when he first came out. So if we got a new Daken, maybe a more accurate Marvel boy, yeah, that would be a badass looking Dark Avengers. With the new Iron Patriot, man, this makes me want to re-buy the old figures and build this team again. I'm not going to do that, but it does get the blood pumping. This is just a render, obviously. I'm assuming that maybe we'll have an extra head for this figure, and I'm guessing that she's on the Captain Marvel body that came out just recently. It would make sense. She's a person. She's a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. So this makes me happy, and I think it makes a lot of other people happy too. She's going to go up for pre-order on November 7th, and when she does, I'm sure we'll get all the other reveal pictures, and we can see what exactly we're going to get for our money. Gang, you know what time it is. It's time to take a little pause for the cause and tell you about this channel's sponsor, Legendsverse. Now, since I'm in a new surrounding, I'm going to take a new approach to talking about Legendsverse. Normally, I'm very overly enthusiastic about stuff, and I worry that can come off as a little false, and I don't want to do that. And also, I don't like repeating the same commercial for every single episode because it feels lazy. And lazy is not something that I would use when describing Legendsverse, because Alejandro, who runs that website, the dude doesn't stop. I think that my output is prolific. Every single time I go onto Legendsverse, there's a new action figure line up there, or there's new additions to existing lines. A couple of people messaged me and they said, hey, I went to check out Legendsverse, but they didn't have the full G.I. Joe display. And I was like, give it a minute. And then boom, went back there. Yep, still just adding more and more and more. And why are they adding all these figures? So that you can completely chronologically critique, or not chronologically, do it however you want, but you can catalog your entire action figure display. You can see how much it's worth, what you spent on it. You can see what you got pre-ordered, where you got it pre-ordered from. It's just so good for analyzing and, like I said, correlating. That was the other word I was looking for. Your action figure collection, and it's a lot of fun to go through as well. I try to not go on there too often because I just end up going down rabbit holes of looking at Incredible Hulk figures from the year 2003, because that's what I do with my spare time. Action figure stuff. Like, I don't do enough of that already, but hey, it's a passion. What can I say? Some people are into football and sports. I love my action figures, and that's why I do this show, and that's why I'm doing this commercial, and I'm sure you love them too. All right, this was a weird sponsorship spot. Alejandro, I'm sorry, they can't all be winners, but guys, go give Legendsverse a follow and tell them Dave sent you. Hasbro also showed off their Nemesis Immortal figure, or Nemesis Enforcer, for us old school G.I. Joe fans. Originally, we'd only seen the renders, now we got the full images, and he does look really cool. You know I don't collect G.I. Joes, but I appreciate a nice looking action figure. This dude is so high fantasy looking. You could chuck him in with any weird sword and sorcery type characters. He'd look right at home. I think this is another win. It's going to be probably more expensive because he is a big deluxe figure. He's going to be available for pre-order from today, actually. By the time you're watching this, October 28th, you should be able to put your money down for him. But from what I can see with the alternate head, the big ass wings, all these different accessories, he looks like a real nice figure. How much is he going to cost? Well, we'll find out in a few hours' time. The Transformers team also unveiled a couple of really cool looking figures. First of all, Megatronus Prime. I actually read this dude's appearances in the IDW comics. Was it IDW? Always loved the design. First of all, having the cool Black Knight style face mask. That's wicked. Reminds me of Bombshell from the Insecticons. That's the one, isn't it? But then also throwing on the fire effects as well. Whew, yeah, I'm not a big Transformers guy, but I love the look of this figure. Really cool, and both modes look decent. The robot mode doesn't look too janky or with too much kibble or anything. I think he looks pretty cool. So that's a big win right there. And then also, they're having another crack at the Constructicons and Devastator, and this kind of gets the blood pumping a little bit. You can see behind me, I've got my MDLX Transformers, and I think a big Devastator towering over them would kind of set those off. So they're going to be releasing them, they're going to be drip feeding us, I guess you could call it. So in April, we're going to get a Deluxe Bone Crusher and a Voyager Scrapper. Then in July, we're going to get Voyager Long Haul and Hook. And then in September, we're getting Deluxe Scavenger and Mixmaster. So in just under a year's time, you're going to be able to put all these guys together and prepare for extermination. I might be tempted to get these because that Devastator is going to look amazing. Revealed at New York Comic Con, but forgotten by me when it comes to my recap, the Batman and Robin Batmobile. This is going to be up for pre-order on November 1st, and McFarlane, when it comes to vehicles, all they do is win, win, win no matter what. I don't like the human figures, but dude, their vehicles, they're killing it, and they're keeping it at a reasonable price as well. Throw in the ridiculous neon lights that Joel Schumacher insisted on having with all of the Batman movies, incorporating those into the Batmobile. that actually works, especially for a display piece. So keep your eyes peeled on November 1st if you want to add this to your collection, because, dude, if you're collecting all the Batmobiles, that's going to take up a lot of real estate. You'll need your own car park, literally, just for them, but what a display it's going to be. This looks like another winner from McFarlane. 5K Toys are showing off their Yoto Toy 1/12 scale skeletal Serpent Man wave action figures. These are going to be $133 for the set of 3. So breaking it down, that doesn't work out too bad. And if you enjoy your Mythic Legions, Dungeons and Dragons style sword and sorcery, high fantasy type things, come on! As if a skeleton wasn't cool enough? You're going to do a skeletal reptile snake man? Yeah, okay, that is yes-anding your action figures. Someone saying, hey, skeleton warriors are cool. And they went, yes, and they'd be even cooler if they were snake men. I love the look of these, especially the slightly cartoony aesthetic. I really, really like this. So available for pre-order on 5K Toys. Little bit of TV news, but it's Spider-Verse. The Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir TV series has had a few behind-the-scenes pictures leaked, and they look promising. I mean, the fact that we're getting a Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir TV show, that in itself is kind of bonkers, and I really love it. So Nicolas Cage, I'm always going to have time for. Sometimes he makes gold, and sometimes less so. But if we just get all the right stars in alignment, this could be a really fun show, because you know Nick Cage, being the comic book geek that he is, he's going to be passionate about this project. And he was so much fun in the original Spider-Verse movie. This really gets the blood pumping. 2024 has been, it's been a mixed bag as far as comic book properties are concerned. But hopefully this is part of the tide turning. Back to the good stuff. Eventually, time will tell, but I'll admit, I've got my hopes up. In Marvel comic news, there's a few little items to touch on. First of all, the once King in Black is now the King in Crimson. Eddie Brock is being taken over or combining with or taking control of the Carnage symbiote. And I almost feel a little bit like they're kind of scraping the barrel of what can we do with Venom now? Give him the Carnage symbiote. There you go. We haven't done that yet. But it's all down to the story. If the story's good, I don't mind what the gimmick is. I was completely checked out with all the multiversal, timey-wimey stuff that's been happening in Venom recently. But if we can get back to a cool Eddie Brock story, I'm going to be on board for it. So fingers crossed, this will yield some good results. And speaking of fingers crossed and yielding good results, Ultimate Comics are giving us Ultimate Wolverine. It's Malibu Stacy with a new hat, but you know what? It's still interesting. So this is a Wolverine who's kind of like a bit Winter Soldier-ish, from what I understand. But then again, that's pretty much what Weapon X was. So I don't know if people are selling it by going, yes, but this Wolverine has been brainwashed by the government to be an assassin. And I'm like, yep, that sounds like Wolverine. But this time he's in a red and black costume, which I'll admit I do kind of like, with the full face covering mask. If Wolverine coming at you with his claws didn't look intimidating enough, completely taking away his face, oh, yeah, there is some mystery and scariness to that. So I'll be intrigued to see how this pans out. And if that's not enough Wolverine for you, then January next year, we're getting Wolverine and Deadpool in a brand new miniseries, and the cover art, that caught my attention. I love all the grimy, kind of overly detailed aesthetics of this. And then diving into the pictures in the comic book pages themselves, it looks fun. I'm always down for a bit of Wolverine and Deadpool, and they need to, capitalize on the huge success of the movie. So this might be a big seller. I'm certainly going to be interested in giving it a read, because sometimes it can be hit and miss. If the humor's too wacky, it's going to lose me a little bit. If they're being a bit too Looney Tunes and making each other look stupid, I like a bit more seriousness in my comic book characters. But when a serious Deadpool with a little comedic slant meets a good gritty Wolverine, that's when you hit that sweet spot. So again, there's a lot of hope in this episode. More fingers crossed that this is going to be another successful Marvel project. Magic the Gathering are continuing their partnership with Marvel, now doing a whole bunch of Marvel-themed cards. And I just wanted to share these with you because I thought the artwork, it looks very pretty. And also, I love cards. I love collectible cards, but I don't like card games because you have to think about things. And I don't like thinking about things. I like to just look at the pretty pictures and maybe read some cool biographies on the back. Don't make me learn rules about stuff in order to enjoy cards. I still, one of these days, I'm going to repurchase my old 1995 Spider-Man set. Today is not that day, though. There are more pressing things to spend money on. But that'll happen one day. And in the meantime, I'll enjoy the pretty artwork on these Magic cards. In Artist Alley, I want to give a shout out and a missing persons request for this creator, Sirenk, who did this amazing Rhea Ripley. You do anything with Rhea Ripley, you're gonna have my attention. But this dude doesn't seem to have an Instagram, can't find DeviantArt or anything. So if you can find this dude, his portfolio where he shows off the rest of his work, I'd love to see it, because if it's anything like this piece here, dang it, I want to see more. So Sirenk, whoever you are out there, keep doing good work, but please share it in a more accessible medium. I think I and a lot of other people would really appreciate that. Today's cosplay cover artist is Lizette Garcia. It's almost embarrassing how well the Instagram algorithm knows me. They know exactly what to put my way. Anytime I open that up, I'm like, oh, well, this'll make for a good thumbnail. This lady, not only is she a bodybuilding professional, but also she's clearly a huge, big pop culture nerd, and her portfolio speaks to that. So go give her a follow. She's doing some amazing work on there. In movie news, I have a confession to make, actually, first up, and I'm not proud of it, but yesterday some friends came to me, and I bowed to peer pressure, and I went and saw Venom 3. So I told myself that I would only say nice things about the movie, so I'll give you my review only talking about the things that I thought were genuinely good. And folks, that does it for Good News for today. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below. Let me know. And what do you think about this format? Is it nice to change from the green screen? I don't know. I'm interested in the feedback. So gang, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much all the channel members as well. Guys, you help me keep the lights on and also genuinely do help keep me motivated. It means a lot. So thank you so much, everyone who supports the channel. And if you want to be part of the underground as well, then you can be by grabbing a YouTube channel membership. So guys, thank you so much for all your support, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Coffee, big time.